Okay, I'm here with Yuki of Plufl. Yuki, appreciate the time. I know you're a busy man recently.
How's it going, Danny? Good to see you.
You guys just went live with Costco recently. What's been the impact so far?
Yeah, so we're just trialing 10 stores this year. If that goes well, we get a nationwide PO, which should be pretty big. Just unlocks a whole new set of customers that we weren't able to get in touch with online Amazon, and creates a whole new trust factor and brand recognition. So we're really excited about it, and I think they're going to be a great partner.
What are some of the cities that people can find them so far?
Yeah, so we just launched in Tomball, which is right next to Houston. Next one's going to be Louisiana, Covington. Then we're going to be in Richfield, Washington, Napa, California, Bend, Oregon, one in Alabama, one in Arizona, and actually in Mexico as well, funny enough. So that's going to be this year, but hopefully that goes well and we're in nationwide next year.
Nationwide, let's go. What's been the most surprising thing, maybe something that you weren't expecting about launching with a big box retailer like that?
Yeah, so Costco is the challenging one. There's a lot of steps and little things you need to do to get into it. They're supposedly probably one of the best retailers to work with. They take a 15% margin, which is far lower than any other retailer, but in return, they expect you to give them the best price. So that's what they ask for. Our journey with Costco has been super interesting. We were supposed to be doing an in-store event, similar to what Midday Squares did, where we sell Plufls in person and we have our own inventory. But all that changed when the CEO of Costco tried the Plufl during a board meeting. He's a 75-year-old dude, lies in the Plufl during an executive board meeting, and he's like, this thing is sick. Get these guys in every single store possible. So what we did was we took our e-com boxes, took out the content, paid $40 per box to get a retail box, repackaged it in our warehouse, and shipped it out. And we sent them every single unit that we had. So that's the only reason why we're doing only 50 units per store, is because that's all we had.
He probably fell asleep mid-board meeting after trying it out. How long were you guys Plufl only before adding that second SKU? And what sort of research tactics did you use for deciding what that would be?
Yeah, so we were only exclusively selling the human dog bed. Just those are only SKU. We had, I think, 2 colors for almost a year. And that's great. We had a lot of new customer acquisition, but obviously as an e-com store, you need the repeat purchase. So we launched our second product. It's called the Huggle, and it's a cooling body pillow. And that was a direct result of listening to our customers and realizing that existing body pillows on the market weren't addressing our customers' need, and people wanted something bigger, more supportive, and actually cooling. So we actually designed that around our customer feedback. We asked them what exact features if we were to develop a body pillow just for them. We asked that exact question and then saw the top results and crafted the body pillow around their responses. And now it's actually a higher selling SKU than our existing main hero product just during the summer, because we noticed
it has that cooling effect.
Exactly. We noticed that the human dog bed sales dip during the summer. It's a very seasonal product. So our goal was, how do we create a product that can sustain our sales throughout the summer? And the answer was this cooling body pillow.
I guess I didn't take that into account, the seasonality of the Plufl, but I recommend taking naps with both the Plufl and Huggle together. So I was looking at Plufl's lifetime stats with OneText, and text to buy is adding a 37% lift on top of all revenue. Does that figure surprise you?
Looking back, it is honestly pretty surprising and crazy that we've been able to add such a revenue lift with just one channel, but it makes sense. It all comes down to the personalized shopping experience. You guys got live agents interacting with their customers, and it just gives the customers another touch point to reassure them that this purchase is legit. It's something that they're going to get. Our customers spend anywhere between $200 to $400 with us. So it's a pretty big purchase. So they need to be assured that this is the right thing for them. So just having text as another channel, there could be a two-way communication. It makes a huge difference for us.
Yeah, I think it's a good synopsis. With email, you can't offer that one-to-one messaging type as quickly with text, at least. It's important to have those live agents that are there to text with shoppers that have a product question or can't figure out the website. In the beginning, before launching with OneText, were you skeptical about having such a high price point, $300, $400, maybe SMS wouldn't work for you guys?
Yeah, I honestly thought that no one would buy right away, because the whole concept of text to buy is that it's instant. You immediately check out for a $300 to $400 product. But the OneText experience is honestly much more than that. It's a two-way conversation. So if a customer at any point feels like they're unsure about the purchase or has any questions, they can there and then text the question and they'll get a real response. And I think that's what makes a difference for a high AOV brand for OneText, is that two-way conversation.
Exactly, and we can power those traditional link-based campaigns too. You might send someone to a product page, they add a Huggle to their cart, and then the next day you're following up with a text by nudge. Hey Yuki, thanks for checking out the Huggle, reply yes to order now. So you can plug it in different parts of the customer journey where they've already checked out the website and go for that more direct response hook. For you and Noah, what makes a good Shopify app partner for you guys when it comes to support and delivering the value for you?
Yeah, it comes down to how little work that we can do and how much output we can do. We're busy. We got a lot of things in our minds. We have ADD. So working with a partner that can just send one message and the campaign or whatever needs to get done is huge. We used to work with Klaviyo. Little no support when it comes to SMS. Email as well, but especially SMS, there's no support. And had no real cadence or strategy when it came to sending SMS out. It was very much an afterthought. And that's a big reason why I switched to OneText was when I heard that, hey, I'll get a dedicated Slack focused on our brand and our campaigns. And that was actually probably one of the biggest changes and why we have so much more revenue now through SMS. It's just because we went from not paying attention to it, maybe sending one campaign a month, to now actually having a schedule and things actually set up for us.
Yeah, we even have that one text bot in there that just helps you let you know what's going on with your account, with campaign notifications and such, and sharing when we get happy customer feedback as well. When it comes down to timing, how often do you find that your requests are getting done within a couple hours or at least the same day?
Yeah, so let's say I want to send out a campaign today, a Labor Day campaign. I can probably get that out within an hour just by pinging the Slack channel, hey, I want to do a Labor Day campaign. This is my discount. And usually it's Crystal, be on the Slack, respond to me right away, and she'll schedule it. And then I can even ask, hey, I want it segmented to about this many people. What's the best segment to use? She'll have that scheduled, etc. So yeah, I barely have to lift a finger. Just usually as easy as sending a Slack message. I actually just logged into the OneText dashboard for the first time in 4 months just to brush up on our numbers, but I don't really even need to log in for the most part, which makes it really nice.
Shout out Crystal. And yeah, we actually just recently hired a designer, so I'm sure the platform looked a little bit better looking, right? I think the Burger King collab is something that probably surprised quite a few people. How did that come to be?
Yeah, so we actually got an inbound message from the head of partnership at Burger King. They saw, I think, one of our TikToks and really thought it would be a great idea to make a Burger King themed human dog bed as part of their Christmas campaign. And yeah, it did incredibly well. They ordered, I think, 1,000 units from us and they sold out. It was only on their website. We weren't allowed to sell it. And they sold it out on their own website, I think, within 5 to 6 days. So there are some customers or people on Reddit complaining about how they couldn't get their hands on the Burger King Plufl. It's a 1-in-1. We're probably never making that again unless they ask us. We got one in our apartment, and I don't really know where the rest are, but that was a pretty successful collab. And it was a pretty random one, but it just comes down to creating hype for something. And if you're able to be flexible and work and brand, create a product that's in line and branded with your partner, things can go well, even if it's not a expected collab.
I think you guys should add the crown-shaped pillow to the site if you can. For anyone that has a Shopify app, not in the SMS space, trying to get your attention, what's the best way to do that? Is it free AirPods, buying you dinner?
I think I'm on my 5th pair of AirPods now, so if any SaaS wants to hit me up with some AirPods, I'll happily shill you. Free dinners are nice. I think transparently though, the best way is to get a referral from a friend. Almost all the softwares I use have been referrals or word of mouth from another brand founder, and that just goes exponentially farther than anything else. So I think that's it. I think a lot of people are trying to consolidate their SaaS tech stack. So as a brand founder, we're very picky about what we get to use, not just because of the cost, but because of the tension. We can only focus and do so many things right. So at the end of the day, I listen to my brand founder friends more than anything. So that's probably the best way to get my attention, is to get a brand actually talking about their experience and their impact with the platform.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason we're here is because Oliver of Tabs made that intro a little over a year ago. Are there any e-commerce operators that you see really crushing it today that inspire you and Noah?
Yeah, so a few of my buddies in Austin, shout out Tyler from Peachy Babies, crushing as always, organic content, got a great business. Not e-com brand, but SaaS company that I think is doing well is Disputifier. Mm-hmm. Shout out Mark Wagner. I just went on a trip with him in Europe, also crushing it. I think he's in a really great space that's growing very fast. So yeah, those are two of my friends in Austin that I think are doing really well.
For Mark, it's easy. The offer of less chargebacks. Yeah. I feel like everyone will say, I'm in for that.
JT, he's crushing it. Pop Daddy Snacks. I see Brock as well. I don't think we've actually connected, but I see him on Twitter. I think he's growing, crushing it. Yeah, a lot of these are bootstrap founders and just focused on driving more profit. That's where I am at. Always look at my bottom line and see how I can grow it.
As an e-com founder, bootstrapped, what keeps you up at night?
For us, we got one-time purchase We always got to be innovating our product pipeline, always thinking of what the next hit for us is. I'm always thinking about that. We just got a new product that we launched on Kickstarter, the For Free Sheet. We're excited to hopefully scale that next year, but we're continuously thinking about, hey, what's next? So that's definitely what I'm always thinking about as a founder. I think that's where my attention is best used.
You guys have used Kickstarter quite a few times. Is this something that is always going to be a part of the process, or it might change?
Potentially. I think, honestly, this year probably is our last Kickstarter. It still went well for us. I think we almost hit six figures on our campaign. But as a platform, I think it's definitely slowed down and people are less familiar with it now. It's an older, I think like early 2000s, mid 2000s platform. So we're probably going to move away from it. But the idea of taking pre-orders before we release the product to gauge product demand is something I think we'll still continue to utilize. And I think you can get away with it when you have a higher product and you offer them a really good discount. That's how we always have prevented from overproducing, and we don't go in all into a product category until we have some validation that at least our existing customers will come back and buy it.
With new SKUs, how many times does it take you get samples? Is it usually a couple cycles? Sometimes they crush it right away?
Depends on the product. For the Plufl, the human dog bed, it took us, I think, 8 months until we had the idea and a prototype until we actually had a product that's ready to ship. So we made a lot of tweaks. That's our baby. We care a lot about it. I ended up working out. We're still making changes to it right now. Always thinking about, hey, how can we cut down costs without compromising the product and stuff like that. But yeah, it depends on the product. For the body pillow, it took a little bit less, maybe 4 or 5 months.
It's one of my favorite ads, though, that I see target on Instagram is like a montage of all the clips of you guys, in the factory working on those different samples, this fabric, this memory foam. Is that a high-performing ad for you guys?
Yeah, it's the founder angle.
Yep.
That's one thing I want to touch upon is that as a small business, your lean e-com brand, you actually want to tap into that. That's the only way you can really compete with these bigger brands. You got a much smaller marketing budget, less people to work with. So you got to actually use that to your advantage. So last year during Q4, we sent a crap ton of founder-based emails and actually texts as well. And those have been consistently the highest performing ads. Same with our organic content. If you go scroll through our TikTok and see all the videos that have gone viral, they probably have me talking about our story or Shark Tank story or product story. So you got to really tap into that as a small business. And I think that's the only way, or one of the few ways that you can really stand out and make be different in this space.
For sure. Yeah, I like how your welcome flow, the first message is, hey, this is Noah, one of the co-founders. And it's that personal touch. And they can get human support if they text in, so it's not like you're just blowing smoke. If you gave one tip to founders who are working in product development for the first time when it comes to working with suppliers, any tips there?
Yeah, when working with suppliers, especially based in Asia, have as many options as possible. Don't rely on just one manufacturer, especially at the start. You really can't trust them. That's one lesson that we've learned, is that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. We have had many instances where we thought the supplier was great, they were amazing, and then we start to see their production run and they've completely made the product wrong. Luckily, we've had other backup manufacturers that we were talking to, working with, we were able to quickly pivot. So that's definitely a thing you should do, is make sure you have more than one manufacturer. But also from a pricing angle, most of the time, if you don't negotiate, you're not going to get the best price. That's why having multiple sources of manufacturing options is really important, because you can have them fight amongst each other for your business. And yeah, these people are hungry. If you really set your mind to it, you can get your prices down.
And I know you guys taken a couple of trips over there. I think it's important for once you reach a certain scale and it makes sense to spend 2 weeks over there, but to handshake and meet them in person, I think takes that relationship another level for that culture as well.
100%. When we went the first time with our initial manufacturer, we realized that they weren't even manufacturing our product. They showed us they had us tour their manufacturer facility, and we realized that it wasn't even their own facility.
They put a fake sign up.
Not really. I think they just toured another one that they were working with as their partner. But we realized why their costs were actually high to us is because they were having someone else manufacturing, white labeling it to us, and having a markup. And they kept telling us it was because of quality. And yes, their quality was actually pretty good, but we were paying an egregious markup for it. And we were only able to realize that because we actually brought our own sourcing agent, who was also local and Chinese. And he was able to point out, hey, this is wrong, this is off. So that's, I would say, has been a big impact. And we were able to cut costs by over 30% after that trip.
Wow.
So yeah, I would say show up, go to the manufacturer, especially when you're young, you got time. I think it's really, really important. It also just gives you an idea of how everything is made, and you can start to understand where the inefficiencies are. So I think it's worth it. Plus, it's pretty fun. It's a cool experience to go to China.
For sure. Yeah, no, Oren John just spent a couple weeks in China as well. And the content that comes out of it as well is just gravy. Beyond paid ads creeping up, any other e-commerce trends that you see?
I think everyone's been talking about retention more than anything now. It's very expensive to acquire a customer, and everyone knows that. So the only companies that are continuing to win, and when I say win, I mean be profitable and founders are making good money, are the companies that have nailed retention down. You see Breeze are crushing it with their repeat purchase. You see a lot of these clothing brands still crushing it. A lot of these supplement brands, the few of them are really crushing it, and they got repeat purchase down. So that's what we're trying to focus on with our new SKUs. For us, it's a little bit harder. We got to continuously find new products, listen to our customers, and innovate and actually go through the development cycle. But we got a pretty good setup right now. We got a great manufacturing partner finally that can really help us through any product development processes. Yeah, that's what we're really honed in on this year and next year.
Do you think it's easier to get someone who's bought in a Plufl, it's been a couple months, to get them to buy a Huggle, or the other way around?
I think the Plufl to Huggle, because we're known for the human dog bed.
Mm-hmm.
So always start with what you're known with, I would say, and then expand from there. We made sure that we didn't pivot too quickly or too far and actually make products that our customers wanted and to buy. And not just some like generic product like a pillow that everyone has, actually something unique like a giant U-shaped body pillow. So yeah, we want to continue to make products that are better than what exists on the market or haven't existed on the market.
When's the last time you added a new color for the Huggle, and is it something that you have like a box where you're taking in suggestions, or?
Yeah, I think the color variations matter more for the Plufl. Last one we added was charcoal, the black one, and that's been actually the most popular selling color. So colors do matter when it comes to furniture items. And yeah, when we're in Costco, we're launching the charcoal and the Arctic gray. So one of those colors we even have when we first launched the company. Yeah, it's been interesting to listen to customers and see what they're looking for.
If I can suggest one, I think a snow leopard would go pretty hard.
Oh yeah? Oh my God. That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, like a zebra almost. What would go behind adding a new color? Obviously, there's a sampling process there again, and then would you have to dedicate X% of Huggle SKUs to that new option?
Yeah, so it just comes down to whether we think we can meet the MOQ. Each color fabric has like a certain quantity that we have to buy and we have to sell through. So we don't really actually want to add too many colors as well, because then it complicates our inventory management. So yeah, we're thinking about maybe even decommissioning one color that we have right now, or at least popular color, and then adding it with a new color. But yeah, we want to keep it as simple as possible. So yeah, we were just sticking to 4 colors right now.
Do you have a couple of different warehouses in the US, or just one main one?
Yeah, we have 2. We work with the 3PL, Utah and Kentucky.
If you were to go back to when Plufl was on Shark Tank, who's a shark that you would have liked to add it to the roster of the people you were pitching?
Not a actual shark, but a guest shark. Kevin Hart would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Imagine him running around the Plufl and jumping into it, and it being like a third. The Plufl being him taking up a third of the Plufl. That would have been hilarious. Would have created for some viral clips for sure.
I feel like he strikes me as someone that takes cat naps throughout the day to be able to work as much as he does. So
There's a lot of energy.
we might need to send him one.